My Sweet and Charming Wife Chapter 1, Pushed Downstairs and Reborn. Chapter 1 Pushed Downstairs and Reborn. Rooftop. Yuewei. Gu Yuehuan, who was over half a century old, staggered towards the well-dressed, graceful and luxurious woman, and said in an unbelievable voice, "You are Yuewei, right? I am my sister." Sister? Gu Yuewei sneered, "I don't have a sister like you. I called you up to tell you to stay away from me in the future, and don't mess around with me." Gu Yuehuan looked at her incredulously when she heard this, and gritted her teeth angrily when she thought of all the hard work she had done all these years. "Gu Yuewei, these years, I have worked so hard to raise you so that you can go to college. Repaying me like this? In order to support you and my parents, I work several jobs a day, and I burn my body out of control. Do you still have a conscience?" Conscience? Gu Yuewei laughed exaggeratedly when she heard this, and her old but well-maintained face became ferocious at this moment. "You really think you are my sister? Who in our family treats you as ours? Human. Let me tell you, you picked it up. My mother picked you up by the river. For so many years, we just used you as a cash machine to cheat money from you." What she said was like a bomb exploding in Gu Yuehuan's mind. She stared at her with wide eyes in surprise. Her face suddenly turned pale. She couldn't react. Isn't she biological? The more Gu Yuewei spoke, the more she vented her hatred for her for so many years. She looked like she was going to kill her, and leaned against her face, and yelled at her, "Do you know why I hate you so much? It's because I like Huiqingyue, but in the end he only likes you. He won't look at me no matter what I do. How can I just watch you two get married? So I tricked you into working in a big city, and told him that you were raped and committed suicide." Unexpectedly he actually believed it. "Ha ha ha ha, he thought you were raped to death, so he took a knife and chopped Jiang Yan dozens of times. Killed him. He has been in prison for decades, and now he is still in prison." What? Huiqingyue was the person she dated in her previous life. She was introduced to him by her family, and she had been with him for a few months. Before she could get married, she was tricked into working in Haicheng and stuck in Haicheng for the rest of her life. How could he spend his entire life in prison for murdering her? He's in jail. Gu Yu's pupils widened in shock, his lips were trembling, and he spoke tremblingly. How could he didn't live a good life. Seeing her frightened face, Gu Yuewei became more and more complacent, and deliberately stimulated her. "I can't think of it, you two have missed so many years for nothing, and I can't get you the man I can't get. I lied to him, I really thought you were defiled, he killed people and went to prison for you, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment for life." Ha ha ha. Ah, seeing the proud face of the person in front of her, Gu was so happy that she screamed with all her strength. Thinking of Huiqingyue who was implicated by her, she was so angry that she trembled all over. "I want to kill you. Gu Yuewei. Go to hell." Looking at Gu Yuehuan who was rushing over, Gu Yuewei grabbed her neck with her backhand. "Kill me? Just you? Gu Yuehuan, I thought about it, you should die. If you die, no one will know that I am a poor man. The child of the family." The already gray-haired Gu Yuehuan's physical function declined, and she didn't have any strength to struggle. She let Gu Yuewei pinch her and lifted her up. She looked at her sister in despair. "Gu Yuewei, you." Boom! In the next second, Gu Yuehuan's whole body flew into the air, and was pushed down the stairs by Gu Yuewei ruthlessly. The feeling of falling was so strong that Gu Yuehuan closed her eyes and lost consciousness. Yuehuan, how is it? Are you waking up? Too bad, this child must have suffered from heat stroke, right? Should you send him to the hospital to have a look? It must have been an accident. You fainted. The sun is so big today. Such a young child came to the field and didn't drink a sip of water after working all day. How can there be no accident? Hurry to the hospital. Where can something go wrong? What kind of health center? It doesn't cost money to send it to the health center. It costs a few cents to look at it. Where did you get the money to make it for her? I think this child is probably pretending to be sick and not wanting to work. I don't believe it, she won't wake up if I slap her." Zhang Shufan was reluctant to send the pennies to the hospital. so she had to wake up the child, otherwise she gave the pennies in vain, so she would slap Gu Yuehuan on the face. Gu Yuehuan was sober at this moment, and when the slap was about to come down, she grabbed her hand. End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife Chapter 2, Mom Only Favors Sister. Chapter 2 Mother Only Favors Younger Sister. The moment Zhang Shufan saw Gu Yuehuan woke up, she felt that she had saved a few pennies, and she was very excited and said to the big guy, "I just said that this kid is pretending to be sick and doesn't want to work, look. I saw it. He should be beaten. You liar. Gu Yuehuan, get up for me, stop pretending, go and fertilize me, if you don't finish it today, don't even think about going back to eat." Gu Yuehuan's head is still unclear due to heat stroke. When you look at the woman in front of you, her face is sallow, her whole body is thin, and she has a vicious and sharp look on her face. Isn't this her mother? How is this going? Why is she here? Wasn't she pushed downstairs by Gu Yuewei? Shouldn't she be dead? The old aunts on the side felt that something was wrong when they saw this situation, because her face was pale now, her lips were bloodless, and they were afraid that there was something wrong with her body. It's such a small place, everyone knows what's going on, from childhood to adulthood, they all know that their old Gu family has two daughters, the elder sister and the younger sister are about the same age, but one is in the palm of the hand and the other is abused to death. He is not likable and has been bullied all the time. Gu Yuehuan is the eldest sister. She was watched by the people in the village since she was a child. She knew that she was kind by nature. The family members would not fight back or scold her. She was bullied all the time, so the distressed aunt asked her with concern, "Yu Huan, did you suffer from heat stroke just now? Are you okay? If you have something to do, go to the health center to see it. If you have heat stroke, it is a big deal. I heard that heat stroke can kill people. Stop working and go quickly." Zhang Shufan was upset when she heard that she was asked not to work. There is only one mu of land at home. Recently, she has to rush to cultivate and sell the harvest in the market as soon as possible. This girl is lazy. Zhang Shufan suddenly lost her temper and beat all the sisters-in-law away, cursing, "Bah! Why heat stroke can kill people, this is nonsense. Do you think she looks like heat stroke? I said that she woke up when I beat her, this is obviously pretending to be sick. I don't want to work and I just look like this. I'm her mother. How could I not know that she's been secretly in the dark since I was a child? But she can act. Send it to the hospital, why waste money? Delay, do you pay for the time? Who will plow the fields for me? Are you paying the medical expenses?" After saying these words, he pinched Gu Yuehuan's hand with an unhappy expression on his face. "Damn girl. You are still pretending to be sick and lazy. Get me up quickly and give me fertilizer. If you want to be lazy again, I will break your leg." Gu Yuehuan's head has been buzzing since she woke up just now, and she has already figured it out. Now about this matter, she was so painful from being pinched, and the pain reminded her that she was not dreaming, she was really reborn. Back to this time, in her previous life, it was indeed because of the dog days that she worked in the fields for 5 hours in a row without being given water. She suffered from heatstroke due to lack of water. She passed out and was woken up by Zhang Shufan, who said she was pretending to be sick lazy, wake her up and let her continue farming. She didn't see a doctor in time at that time, and her body has already suffered a little bit of disease, and her heart is not good. She must not continue to work in the field no matter what, so she suddenly covered her head with a headache, and said in a pitiful tone, "Mom, I really have heatstroke, and now I feel dizzy. I have to go to the health center. If you are afraid of delaying the harvest, then you can call Gu Yuewei to fertilize, since they are all from our family. If you call her to fertilize, I will go to the health center to have a look, so that the harvest will not be delayed." Zhang Shufan's face froze when she heard this, but she didn't react immediately. What's going on? This girl actually called her precious daughter to fertilize her. How come her precious daughter did the rough kung fu? She raised her baby daughter as a young lady, and Yue will marry into a wealthy family in the future. How can she do this kind of rough kung fu? End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife Chapter 3, Meet Hu Qingyue. Chapter 3 Meet Hu Qingyue. She was about to speak, but Gu Yuehuan looked weak and pitiful, and looked at the aunt beside him aggrievedly, and said, "Aunt Nyo, what I said is right, they are all daughters of our family, but let me do everything, and now something happened to me, don't let me rest, don't let Yue Wei come to replace me, those who don't know think I'm not my own, but my mother deliberately picked it up to work for their family for free." When I said this, the aunts thought it was the same. They didn't look like their own. Aunt Nyo questioned Zhang Shufan, "Shufan, what Yu Huan said is quite right, although I know you don't like you very much. Daughter, but you can't make such a fuss. The child is working until he has heatstroke, and you still let her continue to work. You can't even bear the money to go to the hospital. Could it be that he really picked it up? If this person, how could they not let her rest if they were all her own, and did not let Yue Wei come to work in the fields?" Zhang Shufan didn't know how to refute when she heard the words that she was not her own. She was so angry that she didn't know how to speak. These words made her feel overwhelmed. She broke down and shouted angrily, "Enough of you! What are you talking about? What is not my own, not mine, did it still come out of your stomach? This dead girl was born to do rough work. Who is to blame for her own fate? Besides, as the eldest sister, shouldn't she take care of the family? Yue Wei is the younger sister, so her older sister can't take care of her younger sister." Her sloppy appearance made all the aunts look a little embarrassed, and Gu Yuehuan continued to speak in a weak and pitiful voice, "Mom, according to you, I have to take care of my younger sister as an older sister, and that younger sister was in charge when I had an accident. You don't have to take care of me, I'm suffering from heatstroke now, you can call your sister to fertilize, if you don't get so much fertilizer done today, it will take several days." As she spoke, she said to Aunt Nyo next to her, "Auntie, please go and call my younger sister now, and let her come to the field to do the rest of the work." Zhang Shufan was really angry now, how could she let her precious daughter do such a thing, so she got Gu Yuehuan off the stool. "You girl, what are you calling your sister for? Your sister is studying seriously now, don't you just want to be lazy? I'll let you go and rest for a while, can you? If you want to go to the health center, you can go there yourself if you have money. Our family doesn't have so much money, so I'll spend it on you for this little illness." She just woke up and her body was still limp, and because she didn't drink water, she was seriously dehydrated, so when she was pushed, she fell backwards, and when she was about to fall, she suddenly hit a thick wall of flesh. The man hugged her. Gu Yuehuan bumped into Quan Ho's arms, and before she could react, the person behind her suddenly squatted down, holding her legs and hands in a princess hug, and just hugged her away. She just looked at the person in front of me, "Isn't this Hu Qingyue?" The man in front of him was exceptionally handsome, with an indescribable temperament on his heroic face. He just faced her directly, letting her see his sharp and handsome face, with his thin lips pursed, his jaw tensed, and his face very angry. "Look like." When she saw his face, she thought it was imagined by herself, thinking that in her previous life, she had caused him to be imprisoned for the rest of her life. Now that she saw him, she couldn't help touching his face with excited hands, her eyes were red, and she bit her lip. Because of being too happy, his throat was stuck, and he couldn't say what he wanted to say, and he touched his face with trembling hands. Hu Qingyue let her touch him, thinking that she would show this appearance because she was sick and wronged, so she turned angrily and looked at Zhang Shufan. Enough. End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife. Chapter 4, Gu Yuehuan, I don't agree to divorce. Chapter 4, Gu Yuehuan, I do not agree to divorce. When Zhang Shufang saw him, she wanted to talk, but she saw his face with wide angry eyes, like a cold face of Hades. It was quite scary, and that look was enough to shock people. She laughed dryly in fear and said, "Qingyue, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's fine, why did you take her to the hospital? Don't be fooled by her, it's inappropriate for you to hold her in front of so many people, put her down quickly." Hu Qingyue glanced at Gu Yuehuan, and his face changed instantly when he looked at her. He stared at Zhang Shufan with shock, but when he looked at Gu Yuehuan, his eyes suddenly became gentle, and his tone was harsh, warning Zhang Shufan, "My future daughter-in-law, I can hug her if I want. I believe in her, and I have eyes to see. I can see clearly who bullies her. If you dare to touch her hair again, give me a try." After he finished speaking, he turned around and glanced at her. Zhang Shufan wanted to go there, but she was frightened to death when she saw his eyes. Most people in the village have no education, so they especially worship listening to intellectuals. He is an intellectual. He said his words were enough to shock people, so after hearing it, my heart jumped with fright, as if I was really afraid of what he could do. Gu Yuan hadn't had time to speak when she saw him, but Huachinhua just maintained the posture of holding her like a princess, and carried her away. Half an hour later, the health center in the town. Huachinhua carried her away from the field and sent her to the health center in the town. Now she is drinking water at the health center. She really suffered from heatstroke. Fortunately, it was delivered in time, so she was given some water for injection. Gu Yuan looked at the gloomy person next to him, and his heart beat violently. After thinking about the two of them according to the time, they hadn't seen anyone for decades, and now they saw him when he was young and energetic. But when she thought that she was murdered by herself in her previous life and spent her whole life in prison, she felt guilty. The two of them were hanging water in the corridor of the hospital. She looked at his face, not as excited as before, because she was sure that the person in front of him had really appeared in front of him. She thanked him excitedly and shyly, her voice was clear excitedly, "Thank you, Brother Chinhua." Huachinhua doesn't usually look so bad towards her. He doesn't know why now, although he sent her to the health center, his face has always been stinky. It's been half an hour, and I haven't said a word to him. It's been 3 months since the two of us dated each other. Do not say. Huachinhua probably softened his indifferent expression because he heard her speak proactively. Looking at her, his pupils were bottomless and complex, he pursed his lips, and said in a displeased tone, "Gu Yuan, what about retiring the engagement?" "I refuse, I don't agree, our family's bride price has already been given to you, you are now mine, everyone knows that we are going to get married next month, and you want to divorce now, I can't." Gu Yuan was taken aback when she heard these words. When is she going to retire? Not only did she want to marry him in her previous life, she also wanted to marry him in this life. It is absolutely impossible for her to divorce, so she was dumbfounded by what he said, and quickly shook her head. "No, Brother Chinhua, when did I say I was going to divorce you?" Huachinhua didn't react when she heard her words, so he just faced her face to face, and his tone became even more annoyed. "You said you want to divorce me, and you don't want to live with me, you already have someone in mind, that is Jiang Yan from the next village, you are going to go to other provinces to work with him, but you are embarrassed to say that you asked your sister to come to me, and your sister made it clear that you don't mean that to me, and you want to divorce me." End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife. Chapter 5, Brother Chinhua, I like you. Chapter 5. Brother Chinhua, I like you. When Gu Yuan heard this, it was clear that it was this woman who did the trick. Gu Yuan likes Huachinhua, so she fabricated this reason to let the two of them break off the engagement. She had missed him once in her previous life, and now God asked her to do it again. How could she miss him? So she reached out and touched the back of Huachinhua's hand, and said coquettishly, "Brother Chinhua, don't listen to my sister nonsense, I have no intention of retiring the engagement, my sister is talking nonsense, I like you and want to marry you." The moment Huachinhua's hand was touched by her, his body was a little stiff, and he looked at her incredulously. He probably didn't expect her to be so proactive. After all, people are conservative these days. He didn't do any intimate things, except for hugging her just now. It was because he saw that she was going to suffer from heat stroke in a hurry, and there was really nothing he could do, so he hugged her. "Really? You don't mean to call off the engagement, your sister lied to me?" "Really, I like you too, I want to marry you, how could I break off the engagement with you?" What flashed through Huachinhua's mind was what Gu Yuan said to him, "My sister is only together for the 3 acres of your family's land, and your family's acre of land is worth some money if you sell it. My sister has always liked Jiang Yan. The two have grown up together and have been in love for a long time. Marrying you is nothing more than cheating the bride price and wanting to cheat money. I really can't stand my sister cheating on you. She is ready to cheat your family's land for money. Then eloped with Jiang Yan." This sentence flashed through his mind and he frowned. He didn't believe it, he still believed in Yuan, so he held her hand and stopped talking. Gu Yuan asked him to talk about this, but he kicked her out without believing a word of her. He has no reason not to trust his own wife, but an outsider. Gu Yuehuan looked at him as if he was quite useful, thinking that the two of them hadn't done anything during their relationship in their previous lives. Huaqinhua killed someone for her when they got married, and probably loved her badly. She never dared to get too close to Huaqinhua, because she felt that she was not good-looking and had low self-esteem. Although she is 18 years old now, she is ugly, with a thick layer of fat on her face, and her black skin is dry due to the lack of water due to years of farming. The only thing that looks good is her big bright eyes. The figure is not good either. She is a bit obese, and she doesn't know how she has been short of food for herself, malnutrition, how to make her body fat, but Gu Yuewei is not skinny, she is fat and not good-looking at all. However, because she was often hungry at home, she kept eating a kind of plant grown on the mountain, which was given to her by Gu Yuewei. Later, she suspected that it was because the plant had a hormone that could be extracted, which caused people to gain weight. After she left the village, only then did I lose weight, because I didn't continue to eat that kind of plant to satisfy my hunger. In her previous life, she felt ugly and dared not approach Huaqinhua, but she also liked him very much, and Huaqin also did this for her, so she will never miss him in this life. Huaqinhua sent Gu Yuehuan back. When she went back, she was seen by Gu Yuewei at the door. Gu Yuewei saw the two of them holding hands, looking so shy, her eyes watered with jealousy. She didn't want to see the two of them so close, so she went over to get close to Huaqinhua, tried to hold his hand with her hand, and said with a smile, "Brother Qinhua, you are here." She looked like she was about to grab his hand, but he suddenly turned around and threw it away. She almost fell down and turned to look at Huaqinhua. Huaqinhua looked at her with a cold face. The voice was cold and sharp, "Don't touch me." End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife. Chapter 6, Zhang Shufan asked her to go to Haiqing to work. Chapter 6. Zhang Shufan asked her to go to Haiqing to work. Gu Yuewei felt very uncomfortable when he was so fierce. He was always like this, always being so cold towards her. Huaqinhua looked at Gu Yuehuan, his face changed instantly, his face and eyes became gentle, he touched her hair, and told her, "When you get home, you must take medicine properly. You are now taking 3 meals and 3 meals on time for heatstroke. If your mother bully you again and tell me, I am your man, I will help you get ahead if anything happens, do you understand, huh?" Gu Yuehuan's ears turned red from his words. She nodded shyly, "Okay, go back and be careful." When Huaqinhua left, he touched her hair with some reluctance, and then left. Gu Yuewei just witnessed how close the two of them were, and she mocked angrily, "It's really like pretending to be sick. It's true that he deliberately pretend to be weak and pitiful in front of him, to make him feel sorry for you, right?" Gu Yuewei's words reminded Gu Yuehuan to stare at her. Looking at the younger sister in front of her, she felt chills in her heart. She didn't go to university in her previous life because both Gu Yuewei and Gu Yuewei were admitted to university, and the poor family could only go to one. Zhang Shufan said without hesitation, "Let your sister go. Your sister is young. As a sister, you should make money to support her. My sister is in college." Later, she was tricked by her family to work in an electronics factory. She never thought that the electronics factory turned out to be a chemical factory. She was trapped in a chemical factory for a lifetime, and she couldn't leave her face. All kinds of excuses for money. Said that her father is crippled, her mother is sick, and her sister asks for money to go to school. All kinds of ways to ask for money are like a vampire. She is kind by nature. These people were all used by Gu Yuewei to package herself. When she was in college, she pretended to be the daughter of a rich man, and then successfully married into a wealthy family and lived a chic life. Gu Yuewei, who married into a wealthy family, cut off contact with Gu Yuehuan, and she was not allowed to find her, because she was afraid that her husband's family would know that she was a child of a poor family, and it would be embarrassing to have such a sister. If it hadn't been for cleaning the mall this morning and seeing your wife's Gu Yuewei swiping her card to buy designer bags and all kinds of lavishness, she would have gotten her onto the roof and pushed her downstairs to her death. She would have been kept in the dark. Gu Yuehuan used to just think that she was unpopular, so she didn't like her parents, and she didn't have a sweet sister, so no one liked her, but now she understands that she is not her own at all, and was picked up by this family to serve them. She will never be so foolishly used by this family again in her life. She calculated the timeline. If she was right, Zhang Shufen would let her go to Haicheng to work soon. She had just entered, but Zhang Shufen suddenly smiled and asked her concerned, "How is it, Yuehuan? How is your going to the health center in the town? Are you all right?" Gu Yuehuan felt something was wrong when she heard the woman's sudden change of words, so she was on guard in her heart, and said coldly, "Not dead yet." Zhang Shufen was embarrassed for a moment, pulled her over and said, "I knew you were lucky and you were fine, and it's thanks to me letting you go to the hospital to rest earlier, otherwise something will happen. It's fine now, Mom. Let me tell you something. Do you know that some recruiters have come to the village recently? They said they went to Haicheng Electronics factory to work, with a salary of 100 yuan a month. Anyway, you have nothing to do on vacation now, or you can go here to work, to make money to subsidize the family. You don't have to work in the fields anymore, do you?" End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife Chapter 7, If you don't want to go, you must go to work for me. Chapter 7 If you don't want to go, you must go to work for me. Gu Yuehuan didn't expect this thing to come so quickly, and now she was asked to go to Haicheng to work, but she refused quickly, with a firm attitude. "I won't go. If you want to go, you call Gu Yuewei. She is a leisurely idler now." "What? You don't need to do anything, and you don't need to work in the fields, so you can make money by working in an electronics factory." Gu Yuewei was terrified while listening. How could he go to work in an electronics factory if he wanted to be a young mistress and enjoy life in peace? So she glanced at Zhang Shufen. Zhang Shufen smiled and coaxed her and said, "No, Yuehuan, your sister is not as sensible as you. And your sister is not as hard-working as you. She is very delicate. She will definitely not make money if you let her go. Unlike you do rough work every day, what can she do? You just go to work for 2 months to subsidize the family, so you don't have to go to the fields. Also, Mom, to tell you the truth, I think this job is pretty good, so I took their salary, and now it's here. If you don't go, the salary will have to be paid 3 times, besides, I asked people, and they said that it is very leisurely, even doing casual work is so much money, not tiring." Gu Yuehuan was a little thirsty when she heard this, so she held the cup in front of them, drank slowly, and then said to Zhang Shufen, "Mom, you took the money, and you promised it to me. If you are afraid of losing your wages, then you can go by yourself, and you can earn 2 shares of money with you. Isn't it good? Since it's such a good thing, it's not tiring at all, so you should go with Yuewei. Go." Zhang Shufen is really going to be heartbroken by this child's anger, and I don't know why she is so difficult to say. She was smiling with her face, but now she can't help it after saying a few words, pinching her ear and pointing to her head and said, "You girl, can it be the same? I'll introduce such a good thing to you, but if you don't go, I promised that you would go, and I reported your name. Anyway, I took the money, so you don't want to go. If you go, you have to go, earn some money for the family, save yourself from being lazy at home every day, and if you go to work in the fields, you can cheat people of heat stroke." Gu Yuehuan's forehead also hurt from being poked with a finger. She grabbed Zhang Shufen's hand, stared at her sharply and said, "I didn't agree. Even if you signed the contract, it wasn't my name, and I didn't press the contract myself. It's useless. If you want me to go, you can give me all the hundreds you charge, and I will go." She just took hundreds of dollars from others, and she didn't want to spit it out, so she let this girl go. How could she have any reason to give it to her? She just wanted this dead girl to go to work, so that she could have some money every month, and she didn't have to feed this dead girl at home, saving money. She is stingy and reluctant to give her so much money, so she discussed it with her and coaxed her, "How can I give it all to you? Isn't it natural for you to make money to subsidize the family? Our family doesn't need money to raise you so big. If you want money, I'll give you a few cents and you just keep it on your guard. Go over there and get food and shelter. How much do you have to spend? What do you want so much money for?" Gu Yuehuan saw that she was smiling so wickedly, and pushed her hand away. "You don't have to be so polite with me. I won't work for your family for nothing. If you want me to go, you can pay me how much money you have. Give it all to me, 100 per month. If you guessed correctly, you have held it for several months, and if you give me a few hundred, I will go." End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife Chapter 8, Be good to go out and sleep in a pigsty. Chapter 8 Get out and sleep in the pigsty. Zhang Shufen loves money like her life. Apart from giving Gu Yuewei money, she is reluctant to give her even a penny. If she really wants so much money, she is also anxious. Gu Yuehuan made her look so angry that her face was not right. Zhang Shufan saw her eyes widen when she didn't want to get angry. Gu Yuehuan sat down and wanted to eat, but she was pulled up by Zhang Shufan, cursing in a nasty tone, "Get up, you unfilial girl, you are too lazy to do some work. If you don't want to, why do you still want to eat? You have to eat shit. If you don't go, you won't be able to eat a bite of the food at home from now on, so get out of here and go to sleep." She was pushed out. Zhang Shufan closed the door after getting her out, let her blow the cold wind outside, sleep outside all night, and yelled at her inside, "If you don't agree, don't even think about coming back to sleep, you go outside and sleep in the pigsty." After Zhang Shufan got the person away, Gu Yuewei stomped her hand angrily and said, "Mom, what should I do? This little can't go. If she refuses to go, the wedding between her and brother Qingyue will continue. This time Fat Pig is with him, why should I be with him? I don't care, I'm going to marry brother Qingyue." Zhang Shufan was annoyed seeing her little daughter so angry, but she thought of something and smiled slyly, patted her chest comfortingly and said, "Don't worry, Mom will find a way for you, this girl is soft-hearted, filial piety, anyway, I have collected all the money now, it is impossible for her not to want to go, I have a way to let her go." Zhang Shufan also likes Hua Qingyue, the son-in-law, only if she is with Yu Wei. Hua Qingyue is a well-known cultural person in the village. He got excellent grades in the college entrance examination and was assigned a good job after graduating from a good university. Now he works as a civil servant in the provincial capital, an intellectual, and is especially respected in the village. Moreover, his family has 3 acres of land, all of which are handed down from the ancestors. If this land is used, it can make a lot of money. Hua Qingyue's family conditions are considered to be very good landowners in the village. After all, the bride price for marriage is still full. There are the most villages, and when Hua's family came to propose marriage, she was going to let Yue Wei marry him, but Hua Qingyue's mother was blind, so she fell in love with Gu Yuehuan, a dead girl. Gu Yuehuan was kicked out, she didn't eat this dinner, and she was made to sleep in the pigsty. Seeing a dirty bed in the pigsty beside her, she thought it was ridiculous. In her previous life, if she made her mother unhappy, she would be driven outside to sleep in the pigsty. There is still a bed reserved for her. She was weak and unable to escape in her previous life, so she could only be obedient. Sleeping in a pigsty, why didn't she think that she was not her own? He has been obediently making money for the family. Who are her biological parents? Why throw her by the river? Thinking of what happened in her previous life, she couldn't help crying, but at this moment someone called her from behind, "Yuehuan, why are you outside? Your family kicked you out." Gu Yuehuan turned her head when she heard the voice, and saw Hua Qingyue's mother, Zhao Yun. She used to call out, "Auntie." Seeing her red eyes, Zhao Yun knew what was going on at a glance, and spat at the door of her house, "Your mother is simply a beast, no one drove you out and made you sleep like a pig. Circle, go back with Auntie, now go back with Auntie, stay at Auntie's house." Gu Yuehuan held her hand with some fear and said, "No, Auntie, it's a bit inappropriate. I'm living in my husband's house before I'm married, and I was overheard gossiping." Zhao Yun took her hand and tugged her hard, "Don't be afraid, Auntie will protect you, why not live in your husband's house if you are not married? Tell Auntie who you want to gossip about you, and Auntie will scold them to death for you." End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife. Chapter 9, Mom Fell Down to Find You. Chapter 9, Mom Fell Down to Find You. Zhao Yun in her previous life was the same as now, she was very protective of her, she was definitely a good mother-in-law. She said that you are being taken away by your aunt, she didn't resist, and went directly to her house with her. After going in, the aunt made egg fried rice for her, and said to her, "Qingyue went out to deliver something, you eat first, we are all full, and I will leave this leftover for you to fry, if it is not enough, tell Auntie, Auntie get you some egg water." Gu Yuehuan's eyes were red as she listened, "Thank you, Auntie." Gu Yuehuan cleaned up the meal and washed the dishes. Seeing that she had nothing, Zhao Yun handed her the clothes he bought for her at the market and said, "This is the clothes Qingyue and I bought for you. He gave it to you. I picked it, I originally planned to give it to you when you got married, but I didn't expect it to be used now, you should take a shower in it first." Zhao Yun boiled water for her, she took the clothes, her eyes never stopped red. Thank you, auntie. Zhao Yun pinched her face, thank you, we are all one family, and you have to call me mom when you get married. I'm sleepy now, I'm going to bed, you know the Qingyue room, it's in the second room, after washing just take a bath and sleep with him. Gu Yuehuan nodded, Zhao Yun closed the door and went out. She was looking for a room at first, and went in after taking a shower, thinking that he hadn't come back, so she opened the door directly, but when she opened the door, she saw Hu Qingyue who had already taken off his clothes and was about to change to sleep. I saw his firm chest, fair skin, and strong 8-pack abs. Gu Yuehuan was taken aback, and Hu Qingyue was also taken aback, so he turned around and looked at her without moving. Why are you here? Gu Yuehuan turned her head in embarrassment when she heard this, and said without looking at him, I was kicked out by my mother. My aunt saw that I was homeless, so she let me stay here for one night. Hu Qingyue was taken aback when he heard this, and then quickly got dressed. Gu Yuehuan closed the door with a trembling tone, don't worry, brother Qingyue, I'll just sleep on the ground. After hearing this, Hu Qingyue took down another quilt from the closet and spread it on the floor. The two of them hadn't served wine yet, so he naturally wouldn't do that kind of thing. Gu Yuehuan saw him turn around and get dressed, and wanted to lie down on the ground, but Hu Qingyue held his hand. He squatted down and said to her, you sleep on the bed, I sleep on the floor. Gu Yuehuan wanted to say something else, but Hu Qingyue looked up at her with clear eyes and an irresistible order, be obedient. Gu Yuehuan's heartbeat accelerated by his words, she obediently went to bed, she lay on the bed, and Hu Qingyue fell asleep on the ground. Her mood began to become complicated, thinking that in her previous life, he had been imprisoned for no reason for the rest of her life. She turned around, looked at him lying down and sleeping, stared at him sleeping, and fell asleep herself. When Gu Yuehuan woke up the next morning, she was going to cook for their family as a reward, but Gu Yuewei hurried over, knocked on the door and called her, sister, sister. Gu Yuehuan was afraid that she would wake up others to rest when she heard the loud voice, so she hurried to open the door and grabbed her hand and asked her, what are you doing? It's so early in the morning, why are you barking like a dog? Gu Yuewei cried and trembled, and said to her twitching, sister, hurry home with me, something is wrong, mom fell down, and she broke her leg. Gu Yuewei's sobbing appearance really looks like her acting. Still broke her leg, she didn't respond with a gloomy face, just seeing her crying, asked her indifferently, how did you fall? Gu Yuewei bit her lips and explained, Mom saw that you were not in the pigsty this morning, so she thought something happened to you, so she came to look for you. She regretted kicking you out yesterday. After kicking you out, she already regretted coming to look for you. I found you. I searched all night. I asked someone early in the morning that you went up the mountain to pick things. She went up the mountain to look for you, but she broke her leg. Come back with me quickly. Mom is seriously injured now, the doctor said. We need to have surgery as soon as possible. End of this chapter. My Sweet and Charming Wife. Chapter 10, As a Big Sister, You Should Treat Your Mother. Chapter 10. As a Big Sister, You Should Treat Your Mother. The crappy reason, I can believe it, maybe there is something wrong with my brain, the village is so big, and I still need to go up the mountain to find her. She went back with her to see what tricks the mother and daughter were playing. When they got home, they heard the sound of crying and crying. The crying sound attracted the neighbors. Several aunts gathered around the door to watch Zhang Shufen cry. Zhang Shufen cried, beat her chest and stomped her feet and wailed, my leg, why is my leg limped, this leg is limped, I am a useless person, how can I survive in the future, how can I work in the future, I might as well die already. Gu Yuewei pulled the person in, and deliberately said to Gu Yuehuan at the top of her voice, sister, look, mom broke her leg just to find you, how can you be so self-willed, not at home, let mom find you so hard, and now the leg is broken, the doctor said that it needs to be operated on as soon as possible, and it will cost hundreds of dollars to send it to the health center in the county town. How can our family have so much money? This kind of land has not yet been harvested, the family has no money, so hurry up and find a way to collect medical expenses. Gu Yuehuan heard the mother and daughter talking to each other, and looked at Zhang Shufen's legs. She didn't expect to act a full set, and got her feet into the gauze. It is estimated that the doctor was bribed. Zhang Shufan cried and called everyone over early in the morning. Gu Wei beside him was smoking a cigarette and didn't know what to do. Seeing that his mother-in-law's leg was broken, it would cost hundreds of dollars to find a doctor. How could the family have so much money? So now he is smoking an old cigarette worriedly, without saying a word on the sidelines. Gu Yuehuan let go of Gu Yue's hand, went over to touch Zhang Shufan's leg and said, "Mom, is your leg really broken?" Zhang Shufan made herself cry with onions early in the morning, and she cried in a decent way. When she heard this, she pushed her chest, "Damn girl, why did I give birth to you, an unfilial daughter? The doctor said that my leg was broken, and I did it just to find you, and you still have the mood to ask me this. It's your fault that I'm like this. Why are you running, you dead girl?" Gu Yuehuan sneered when she heard this, and said in a tone of indifference, "Since it costs several hundred yuan, then don't treat it. According to what you said, our family doesn't have a penny for treatment. You can only empty your family, and you will just lie on the bed for the rest of your life. After all, Yue is the one you spoiled since you were a child, loves you so much, she can take care of you for the rest of your life, don't worry." Zhang Shufan was a little overwhelmed when she heard this. She looked at the aunt beside her. The aunt had a good relationship with her, and she had already been in collusion with her, so the aunt went over and scolded Gu Yuehuan. "Gu Yuehuan, you have no conscience, how do you talk to your mother? Who is your mother doing this for? Isn't it because you are already like this, and you still let her lie in bed for the rest of her life? Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? As the eldest sister, shouldn't you help your mother treat her illness? I heard that some people from Haicheng came to the village recently and said that working in an electronics factory will cost more than 100 yuan a month. How about you go to work? The monthly salary is several hundred, you have no money, you can just go to work." End of this chapter.